Hello and welcome back to the Tom Marshall podcast. Today we are going to do something slightly different. Welcome. This is a new set of videos that I'm going to be doing where I look at the individual creator, artist, actor, director, actress, writer, producer. Today we are going to look at a legendary director called Quentin Tarantino. Let's get into it. Quentin Tarantino is one of those directors whose films have a rare balance of being both artistic and also commercial. He has a unique voice and vision that no one else can replicate, and each film he's made has been different from the last, considering he often casts the same actors in his films, people like Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Leonardo DiCaprio, and so on. While his films are widely celebrated as the greatest of all time, at least one or if not multiple of his films are in most people's top 10. He has also been given his fair share of criticism and controversy for the use of violence, profanity, racial slurs, gratuitous gore, and sex scenes. It is not his critics' fault that they think this. A lot of people generally tend to misunderstand his dialogue, his storytelling. He is a creator, and that's the privilege that you have when you are a creator. You can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. I personally really enjoy his films. People like Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez, Kevin Smith, Richard Linklater, these people helped usher in a new era or type of filmmaking, giving birth to independent cinema. Cinema on a budget, really low budget. Films with people just talking about their day or where they went on holiday or what they ate really made me wonder what counted as a film. Often saying things like, "This counts." Maybe someday I could do something like this. This is the part of the film where I rank my favourite top 5 Quentin Tarantino films. He hasn't made 10 films, otherwise he would have done 10. He's only done 9. And he's widely said that number 10 will be his last ever film. So here are my top 5 Quentin Tarantino films. Let's go. At number 5, Reservoir Dogs, the film that started it all. With its great simple story of a diamond heist gone wrong, bringing the surviving characters back to a warehouse. This masterpiece could almost be mistaken for a play or a stage show captured on film. With an outrageous scene playing out to the song Stuck in the Middle of You, and intriguing plot twists and turns, this film has it all. Great story that's easy enough to follow, and great characters that do nothing but talk about the diamond heist that doesn't seem forced, droll, boring, or contrived. This is why this film is in my top 5. At number 4, Django Unchained. This was a film I was unexpected to like. A film about slavery in America. Again, come on, guys. Come on. But boy, was I wrong. This is a great film because of the two central characters, Django, played by Jamie Foxx, and Dr. King Schultz, played by Christoph Waltz, who is a bounty hunter who helps rescue Django's wife from the most notorious ranches in America, Candyland. I personally am particularly drawn to these stories, such as the mentor-mentee relationship, the likes of Star Wars, the Master and the Padawan, Doctor Who, the Doctor and the Companion. Because during my school years I always had a learning support assistant who helped me without prejudice and nurtured me through. Growing from being chained up slave to being the fastest gun in the West. I like the caring nature and thoughtful nature of Dr. Schultz, as it reminded me of all the people that helped me. It's also one of the best performances by Samuel L. Jackson he has ever given in the form of Stephen. Possibly the worst human being on the planet, but you can't help but laugh at the outrageousness of everything that he's saying and coming out of his mouth, oddly enough, dare I say it, likeable. The only reason why this film isn't higher up in the order is mainly because it is 3 hours long. It's a long old film, man. It is proper long. It was also a tough and challenging watch, and I often found myself uncomfortably shifting in my seat. But sometimes that's also a good thing. You want films to challenge you, to challenge the status quo, films that make you think. At number 3, Kill Bill Volume 1. This is a film, again, that has a simple premise. A woman called Beatrice seeking revenge and will stop at nothing to get what she wants. Another collaboration with Uma Thurman, as they both seem to work really well together, and his dialogue seems to roll off the tongue really well in this performance. Her athleticism is put to the test, especially when it comes to the big sword fight with the crazy 88, using every inch of her physical performance to good use. The choice of music is interesting as it's an odd mix of Western style, big trumpets, drums, and the other accoutrement that comes with this style of music, sort of a mix of Sergio Leone and Kurosawa. What Tarantino does well is to break up the scene by switching it from colour to black and white. The notion that this scene is trying to say is that kill or be killed is as simple as black and white. This is what Google has to say about black and white philosophies, and what I'm trying to convey here is why I think he has made this choice in this film. Black and white philosophy, also known as black and white thinking, is the tendency to view things in extremes, or to categorize people, situations, and ideas as either all good or all bad. It's a type of cognitive distortion and is sometimes called splitting. Alright then. Black and white thinking can be a normal form of time to time, but a pattern of it can interfere with your health, relationships, and career. It can be difficult to deal with complex issues when they are presented in black and white terms without middle ground or nuance. In Western cultures, black and white are often used to symbolize dualities such as life, death, purity, evil, or good and bad. White traditionally is associated with purity, weddings, and peace, while black represents mourning, elegance, and mystery. Or it could just be a style thing and he probably just thought it was really, really cool. It also happens to have one of the best entrances for a character in the known universe, with music from the Wu-Tang Clan, and the soundtrack is just so cool. Okay, at number 2, Pulp Fiction. I think I would very much be crucified if I didn't include this film in my top 5 Quentin Tarantino films of all time. And for those eagle-eyed viewers who have seen my videos in the past, Pulp Fiction poster behind my shoulder here is featured pretty much in every single video. This film captured the imagination of generations of cinephiles and is highly regarded as one of the best films ever made. With its non-linear storytelling, compelling storyline, and characters, this film has to be up there, or at least considered. What Quentin Tarantino does really well here in this film all throughout is what I'd like to call stylized idle chit chat. Like I said, Earlier, he makes normal conversations with his characters compelling to watch and doesn't seem like it's forced or out of place. It's literally what you or I would talk about if we were on the way to whack somebody. It's these quiet periods in the film juxtaposed with violence and great speeches. You know the one. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison my brothers, and you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee. But all in all, it is a great movie with some fun scenes of idle chit chat mixed with shocking overdose scene between Mia and Vincent Vega, Uma Thurman, and John Travolta. Vincent Vega stabbing her with a giant needle filled with adrenaline to revive her after a big overdose. Good times. Okay, at number one, my favourite Quentin Tarantino film is Inglourious Bastards. It's about Nazi occupied France during World War II and the plan to assassinate the Nazi Third Reich by a group of Jewish US soldiers, which coincides with the theatre owner's vengeful plans for the same thing. The whole film is great from start to finish, but these two scenes, in my opinion, really make the film. The scene in the bar where they are waiting for the bastards to begin their mission is particularly good, and Michael Fassbender and Diane Kruger work really well together in this scene. It is intense as they are undercover in a Nazi occupied bar and have to stay in character the entire way through, speaking flawless German, only to be discovered by one simple mistake that basically ends their deception. Another scene of people just talking that doesn't seem out of place or even unrealistic as they are talking about the mission and the plan to take down the leadership of the Third Reich. Another one of my favourite scenes in this film is where Colonel Hans Lander interrupts a dinner between Shoshana, who is one character that you meet in the opening scene of the film, who has returned as much older and is having dinner with German hero Frederick Zoller and director of a film of his exploits during the war. And the scene is just Colonel Hans Lander and Shoshana talking. Everyone else has left, and it's just the two of them in this little intimate dinner table scene, and there is a heightened sense of suspense that Shoshana still remembers the death of her entire family, like I said in the opening scene of the film. But she was a lot younger back then, and now she has all grown up. Neither one of them are willing to give up their position, and it becomes a mental tete-a-tete. See what I did there? She is holding her breath under such stress and doesn't want to be discovered, as at this point in the film she had changed her identity to Mademoiselle Mieux, and she is the theatre owner who has the same plan as the bastards. And she changed her name in order to blend in and to not be discovered as a Jew. Her mental ability is put into question during this rather uncomfortable and unsettling encounter with Colonel Lander. The genius thing about this scene is that you, as the audience, feel everything that she is going through. In the back of your mind, you are also wondering if Colonel Lander knows who she is and also if he remembers Shoshana and is putting on an act. It is made worse when he orders 2 slices of apple strudel and in a playful and laughable sort of way he says, "Oh, j'ai oublié la crème." And it is again really unsettling and uncomfortable and really rather cringe. It is quite a simple scene that is really effective and is crucial to the story for both characters. It's hard to believe that Quentin Tarantino nearly didn't make this film, as he didn't have the cast that he wanted, and he always said that if he couldn't make it, or couldn't have the people that he wanted in the film, he was never going to make it. But on the last day of auditions, in a story that he told to Film 4 for the press of the film, in came Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz, after having some idle chit chat with the director and the producer, Lawrence Bender, started rattling off in German, French, Italian, speaking multiple languages, just rattling them off the top of his head. And together, Lawrence Bender and Quentin Tarantino both looked at each other and said, "This is our guy." Miracles do happen. This film works on so many levels, and it's not meant to be historically accurate. Who the fuck cares? If you want history, read a textbook. Other films I'd like to make special mention are Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 2, Hateful Eight, and also Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the reason why, in my opinion, these films weren't added to my top 5 list was basically I felt that these films were a bridge between the films that he actually did want to make, his tentpole films, like I would say. These 5 films that I've chosen, in my opinion, are his greatest works, and the other films were there just to sort of fill in the gaps. Don't get me wrong, really well directed, really well made, again with great performances, but for me, they just really didn't grab me as much as these 5 films did. I felt that I was distracted by other things. I didn't necessarily care as much as I did about the characters, about the storyline, and Hateful Eight seemed very similar to Reservoir Dogs, where it was just set in one location. Jackie Brown, I don't know, I just wasn't a particular fan of that film. Again, that's just my opinion. And also, I felt that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was just one big build up to one big 20-minute final scene. But again, like I said, the performances were good, but just didn't really grab me as much as these 5 films did. I basically watched each one of these films pretty much in one sitting, and that is generally a good sign. It's just grabbed my attention from start to finish. There we go. I hope you enjoyed this video deep dive into the world of Quentin Tarantino and his films. This is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments section what your favourite Quentin Tarantino films are, or if you have like a different top 5 order. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think. And please watch out for other videos of this type coming in the future, where I take a look at the individual creator, whether it's director, actor, writer, producer, so on and so on, all in the world of film and TV. And got some good stuff to look forward to, some different videos as well. Lots of great content coming in the future. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and it makes a big difference, and I shall see you in the next video.